All right. Can you guys hear me now? Everything going good? Let's make sure this is all on the up and up. I guess you can. There it is. We should be good now. There it is. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Now we're in business. Fix this. Just clicking up a couple things here, real quick, guys. All right. Now we're done. All right. Everything seems to be going smooth. We're in business. Misty Woods, Super Thunder, how are you? Brian, how are you? How are things in Seattle? Brandon, hey. Denzel, what is going on, my friend? Matthew, how are you? Luke, I'm from West Virginia, from Oak Island, North Carolina. Never heard of anything about. Let me get this out of the way. Let's get over to this. There we go. Samuel, how are you? Dregs. Deep dish. Oh, yeah, it was your birthday this week, wasn't it? I gotta get back to Chicago. I'm missing that deep dish pizza. Good. How are you? Super. Lincoln City, Loretta, how are you? Nashville, South Dakota. Thank you, Mario. San Diego. Colleen from PA, huh? Briggs, when am I doing a what's up video again? I plan on doing a couple more of those. I was just looking at them. We got sidetracked. See, the problem is sometimes we'll get on a series and it'll do good, but as I start to see interest wane, I'll switch to something else. And interest was kind of going downhill with that. I had kind of blown my wad with some of the more interesting cities and states. So we'll get back to it eventually. So, two things about tonight. One, we're having a heat wave outside. I have air conditioning in my room, but not that good. So, I had to get a portable air conditioner. I put it in my bathroom. That's that humming you sound. If you hear any scratching, I had to bring in my bunny, who is right here in his cage. He's got a little house because it's too hot to be outside right now. He will boil out there. Salem, Oregon, Havana, Arkansas. Stockton, Durst family, how are you guys? Douglas. So yeah, about those what's up with we did San Francisco and we did a few other ones that did really good, but then some of them just didn't do that well. One interesting thing, I've been getting a lot of emails from San Francisco. I don't know if they're city officials or just organizations that deal with the homeless, and they weren't too happy with my my video about the Tenderloin. So that was entertaining. So I've been dealing with that all week. I shouldn't say all week. It kind of died down a couple days back, but it was pretty rough. They weren't happy with my things I had to say. Edwards Air Force Base. Mini supplemental AC city. There you go. San Andreas. San Andreas is not a place I've ever been to. I've been all over California. I've always heard the San Andreas Fault and San Andreas, but I've never. Where is San Andreas? Oh, that is out Angels Camp. Okay, I gotcha. I'd heard about it my whole life, and maybe I have been through there because I've been up in Valley Springs area before, so I've probably at least gone through there. Great to see you too, Greg. How are you? The Tenderloin is a beautiful place to get mugged. Yeah, you're right. It is. Missouri. Do something with that hair. I know it's getting a little long. I normally shave it before I do this, but it's been so hot I haven't felt like doing anything. Nantucket. I love Nantucket. Northern California will never go back. Never go back, huh? St. Louis is more dangerous. Tenderloin's just disgusting. I mean, it's not really, people aren't shooting each other down there and stuff like that. It's just, it's kind of gross. I've been to Fort Worth, Texas many times. Brandon, how are you? Fernando, I just want to say thanks. Video stuff. Was able to pick a great new city to relocate to, and thank you for. Well, I'm glad I could help out, Fernando. I'm glad it worked out for you. I actually, well, I think maybe I don't know if we've done a live stream since that, but I ran into a guy who moved out to the Beaverton area from New Jersey because of my videos, and he said he loves it out here. Caleb, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Do I offer private consults for finding forever homes in XC? It's something Nick Johnson does, and I've thought about doing it, but it's not something I've jumped on yet. And I might do that because money's down on YouTube right now. So might have to go that extra mile. That's one reason I've taken on a sponsor too. Well, I've done one and I've got some other ones lined up. My sponsors will always be something that can benefit you. You're not going to find me doing sponsors about a video game or something like that. I mean, most my subscribers and viewers are over the age of 35. Granted, nothing wrong with playing video games. I play them all the time, but I get offers for that like every single day. It's not something I'm going to do. But if there's something like that one I just did about company that'll help remote workers get money to move places, I'll do things like that. Makemymove.com. I'll do videos like that that'll help you, or commercials or ads, whatever sponsors. But yeah, it's been pretty rough. But that's something I've been thinking about too, since money's gotten kind of tight here on YouTube lately. Is Newark, New Jersey getting better? It is. What do I think about the state of Delaware? I like Delaware. Out of curiosity, here's a good one. Matter of fact, let's go over to this so we could do this. Ooh. Oh, and thank you for supporting the channel, Caleb. Here we go. Out of curiosity, what states would you never ever consider living in? Well, probably Texas. I'm not a desert person. I grew up in Southern California near the beach, so it wasn't that bad. But I'm not a desert person. I need rain. I need a little snow. I need cold weather, and I need a lot of greenery around me. I'm not saying anything weird about greenery. I'm just saying um, that's a place I would. That's the type area I'd live. So the southwest United States, you'd never find me living there. Just about any place else in the country, absolutely. Anything in Hosel you haven't covered in a while. I want to go back now that Denzel. Denzel's been with me a long time. Anything new for Honesdale? You haven't covered it in a while. I want to go back. I want to do another video on Honesdale. Honesdale, in my opinion, is one of the best, if not the best, for my personal opinion, small town in the United States. It's got beautiful land around there. The land is affordable. Crime rate isn't terrible. They've got a wonderful hospital there, like in town. It's too big for the small town, but it kind of covers the whole area. So they got a great hospital. They've got great people. Like I'd said, the land is pretty reasonable there. So yeah, I'll sponsor you once you launch your food truck service. There you go. But yeah, I love Honesdale. Formerly Go Animate. Under 18. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I've heard of Go Animate. I didn't know they changed the name. But yeah, that's usually where you find a lot of 18-year-olds. I did get an offer to move my channel over to another thing, but I'm staying with YouTube. Why is Rhode Island? I don't get this one. Wait 1 second. Question: why is Rhode Island when it's not one? I'm confused. Favorite town in Mainland, PA, huh? In Mainland, PA? I don't know. Harrisburg's nice, parts of it, but I like Honesdale. I like rural towns. Not a big city person anymore. I technically I live in a suburb, but I'm right on the border where the farmland starts. Hey, Mike. Chicago or Detroit? Chicago, absolutely. I often think about moving to the Ozarks. I actually want to get a house there on Lake of the Ozarks. Just go there for vacation, stuff like that. I doubt I'd ever move there, but it's a nice thing. My thoughts, my opinion on Astoria, Oregon. That's a good one. Let's get over here to StreamYard and look at that. Guys, just so you know, in case this is the first time you hear, I say this every single time. I do this alone. I don't have anyone going over the thing, so I miss a lot of comments, and I apologize. Don't hate me for it. It's a one man show. I try my hardest. Okay. What is my opinion on Astoria, Oregon? I don't mind Astoria. Me and my wife go up there occasionally to hang out and just do whatever, and it's beautiful, and the area around it's beautiful. It's just it's just another Oregon coastal town, and I don't even think it's really one of the best Oregon coastal towns. There's a lot better than them, but it is probably one of the most famous coastal towns in Oregon. That's because of its history. Like your videos? Well, thanks, Fire Reed. Favorite town in Idaho? As far as the cities go, I really like Moscow. Mo- Mo- I don't even want to say it wrong. It's Moscow is what it looks like, but it's called Mos. How do they pronounce it? I forget. I'm losing it today. Is Astoria getting some homeless? Upstate is underrated. I love upstate New York. Finger Lakes region is amazing. Say if you say if I have free healthcare. Florida men or New Jersey men. I don't prefer either. Let's go down a little bit more. Along with other things, in case my voice sounds weird, I'm got some sinuses going here. Brett, go Browns, Brett, go Browns. Maybe we'll have a football team this year. Thank you for answering my question. The best coastal town in Oregon, my opinion, is probably Cannon Beach. I love Cannon Beach. Manzanita's nice too, but I prefer Cannon Beach. Living there, I would want to live on the outskirts of Cannon Beach. The downtown part gets a little crazy during the hot weather, but yeah. Idaho Falls, Idaho Falls, it's got some problems, but there's a hell of a lot worse places to live in the Pacific Northwest and Idaho than Idaho Falls. It's not terrible. My favorite town abroad, I really well, a little tiny town uh called Kulaku or I forget. Anyway, it's outside of Cologne, Panama. I lived in Panama for a while. I loved it. Actually, it wasn't even a town, it was a village I lived in. What's your favorite town in Missouri? Good question. Never even thought about it. Port Orchard, Washington. Okay, fighting off COVID before moving to Port Orchard, Washington next weekend from Pensacola, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, everyone's been getting COVID a second time around. I've had it 3 times. 3 times I've had COVID. First time we didn't know what it was because me and my wife got it when it first started and didn't even know it was a thing yet. Then right in the middle of it, we got it and it was pretty bad. Then we went on a cruise and came home and we had it. That was just like a month and a half ago, and I still got that cough. So if you keep seeing me lean over, it's the COVID cough. And my understanding is some people have it 3 to 6 months. You think you're the only one that never got it? It's not that bad, especially if you're vaccinated. I mean, it's like a normal cold. You do a little extra sweating, but it's the cough that's killing me. Worst town in New York State that we should ever. Oh, I don't know. Will you do other videos on countries to retire? I always do videos, Holly, on countries to retire. It's very interesting subject, and a lot of people want more of that. So I like to cool it down when I do too many. I don't want to, just that's all the channel is, retirement videos. So we'll do retirement videos, then I'll switch it up, and then I'll go back. So you never know what you're going to get here. Normally, when I start a series, I'll do 5, maybe even 10, then take a break, do something else, then go back. Right now, we're going starting next week, we'll do our random videos, like abandoned places, things like that. So I have categories. So I have series and then I have random videos, things that I found interesting. So you'll run into series and expect that. But when it's just randoms, they're just one offs. And we got some of those coming up next week. We got a lot of people. How many people are in here tonight? 228. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Got 228 people sitting in here right now. We only got like 125 likes. That really helps out the channel. That's the other thing. Oh my God. If you guys want to help out the channel and you really like what I do here, when you watch one of my videos, make sure, or not, if you have time, don't go out of your way for me. But if you have time, there's suggested videos. Click on one of those. That is a big thing YouTube is looking at these days, and it really helps the channel. Okay. Come back, cruise Alaska, COVID. Oh, yeah, I came back from a Alaskan cruise with COVID. Hello, everyone. Hey, Peaches. Love from Savannah, Georgia. So emojis, pictures, and I just love peaches. I hate eating peaches. That whole fuzzy thing just bugs the crap out of me. But I love the emoji or peaches. I love the color. It's just makes me happy. Thank you for making me happy, book. Caleb, thanks. Any plans for videos of safest best towns and same gender couples? So I try and stay away from subjects like that, and there's a reason for it. The internet is filled with a-holes, and when I put something up there, it's almost I feel like I'm bringing hate towards someone else because you're going to get the hate in the comment section, and I don't want to be involved in that. I have no problem. I have relatives that I have one that's transgender right now. He's going through the transition. She now. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. I don't want to be something that ignites more hate towards someone that in most cases has a challenging life as it is. That's just me though. Okay, let me read some of these things. But I'm sorry, Seb 1583, that's my reason for it. I think I called you Caleb earlier. Give me a second here. Let me catch up with what's going on here. Peach cobbler. Oh, peach cobbler is better. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll eat some peach cobbler. Consider moving to Portugal, but rather New England. The winters are depressing. No, the winters are. Yeah, see, that's just it. I know what people say. The winter is depressing. For me, that's when when I shine. That's when I'm happiest. Oh my God! So here's the video I did yesterday. I said West Virginia. I misspoke. I said that their total you're going to be paying like 7,000 something over the next 12 months. It's actually 6,000. I had fixed it, and I redid the video. I fixed that, added some other graphics, and then I uploaded the one with the mistake. Like an idiot, didn't realize until next morning, so it's there. Crescent City, California. It's been many years since I've been to Crescent City, but it's nothing terribly exciting. Camus video will be out tomorrow around 11 a.m. I was working on it before I start streaming. Say Brownsville, Texas is a decent place to live when poverty rate is more than double the nation's rate. I didn't say it was the best place to live, and I didn't say it was a great place to live. I said it's going to be. There's a lot of jobs coming to that area. And when you have a lot of jobs come to an area, that fixes your poverty rate and that fixes your crime rate in a big way. You'll see Brownsville, Texas will be turning it around here within the next, I'd say 18 months. You'll see a big difference. 3 years down the road, it'll be a big difference. Thoughts on the Upper Peninsula, Michigan? I think it's beautiful and I love the UP, but the mosquitoes are horrible during the summer and it can get crazy. I've been saying I like the cold and I like the snow. They just get a little too much up there. Best town city for veterans to retire. So the best city for veterans to retire is San Antonio, Texas. It's known as, Military City, USA. They have all the right hospitals. They have all kinds of programs for veterans. Puna, Hawaii. Not familiar with Puna. What do you think about Maine? I love Maine. Leaving Illinois. Thanks, Rick. Let's get that one up there. Sorry. Excuse me. Mark Huber. Um, what do you think about Maine? I think of living in Illinois. Okay, so what's the deal with Ronan? What's he's in the other? Oh, that's my son's name. That's one of my son's name. I got a son named Thor. I got a son named Ronan, and I have a daughter named Honor. But Maine, you can't go wrong moving to Maine. Maine is just no crime. I mean, if you can't stand the winter, I wouldn't advise it. Beautiful, great people, small towns, plenty of nature, and it's like devoid of crime. What 10 states the most like? I don't know. Love your content. Maybe a vid on top 10 food cities. That's something I've been wanting to do. Actually, there was plans for that beginning before the pandemic, and I was going to go to different places and talk about the best place for pizza. Pandemic hit, and that's one of the ones that got set aside. Denzel Briggs, New York has been suffering drought, tornadoes. Ooh, that could be bad. I did not know. I didn't know droughts cause tornadoes. Case you forget it, what I miss. And I know I'm missing a bunch of things here, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Hemp might save our economy. Hemp. So interesting story. I won't get into the subject too much because I got demonetized because of it. State, U.S. besides the one you live in currently, what would it be? Wisconsin or Pennsylvania? Maybe Connecticut, Vermont, or Maine. But more than likely, if I left Oregon today, I would end up in Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. So, as far as the hemp goes, there's a big conspiracy theory, and I did this video on conspiracy theories in the United States. And one of them is that the reason the byproduct of hemp, or hemp is the byproduct of, that stuff that goes together, that electric lettuce, as they call it. I can't say the word, or the algorithm picks up on it and I get demonetized. So I just brought up the conspiracy theory about it. And the conspiracy is that hemp is such a superior product to different things for clothing and all kinds of different products, that chemical companies like Dow Chemicals were fighting to make it illegal because they had another product called polyester coming out, and hemp was superior and it would ruin their polyester industry. So they went to their congressmen or senators they donate to, and they turned it into this big thing. And that's the only reason electric lettuce has been illegal, or one of the reasons. But there's this big conspiracy theory about Dow Chemical killed the electric lettuce industry. Pennsylvania is awesome. Reaver Madness. Is Darwin, Australia safe? I don't know. I have a Findley might be able to know. I don't know if he's on here tonight. Top 10 and that. So one thing I'm going to do next week should be pretty interesting. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's gonna have to do with natural disaster. I guess it's a natural disaster. You'll see. Greetings from San Diego, California. You're awesome. Your videos are excellent. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Al. Okay. Love Oregon and went to Oregon Institute of Technology. Great college. Yeah. Oregon's got some good schools. Briggs, which city is better between Chicago? I'd prefer Chicago. Aaron Rodgers. Racism, original jazz cabbage industry. Yeah. Jazz cabbage. I like that one. What do you think of Idaho? It's a nice place to be from. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. British Chicago, Lakeview area. Love is love. Do I hate Illinois roads? No, I don't hate anything. I love San Antonio. It's a little dusty for me, and it gets a little hot. I was there in last September, I think it was, and it was pretty hot then. Really hot, actually. And no, it was maybe May. But I went there to film all of San Antonio. Frickin' river was drained. Well, thank you. I just saw that one. Thomas, great content. I appreciate that. Best island town in the USA. Best island town in the USA. So I'm doing one on islands in the next 2 weeks for US islands. So Cora finally caught a live. Woohoo! My old pal Cora. Cora has an interesting channel if you guys like DIY stuff. I watch her occasionally. My wife watches her all the time too. I want to get Cora on a live stream with me though. She went from Miami to, or not Miami, Florida to someplace in New England. I forget where. Want to talk to people. I'm actually going to start doing my podcast more, and we're going to focus on some different things. So I have more content for a podcast. Hey, thank you very much. Raider Dad 559. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Really helps. Will I run for president? No, I have too much self-respect. Do some research about COVID shots. Done a ton of research about COVID shots. Oh, it's been hundreds. Oh, you are all week in Central Florida. Okay, so you're in Central Florida right now. Wait, don't you have a place in Cora? Don't you have a place in New England? Am I getting that wrong? Wow, got a lot of them. There it is. I was behind. I think Cora already said something, but I missed something there. Hey, Shaq Elliott, thank you. Best town, or city, minutes away from an international land board. Oh, maybe do a top 10 video for that matter. Yeah, border towns. That's one actually. That's one I've thought about before. Border towns, and I never got around to it because it's not just. So many people think I'm gonna write that down. I don't feel like standing up, but not as much as it used to be. But a lot of people were looking for border towns near Canada because of drug prices. I actually know a girl. It's been years since she moved up there, probably about 8 years ago. But she quit her job as an LA County sheriff, which she'd been there forever. Took a job in a small town in northern Washington, so she could be close to the border because her dad, with I don't know what her dad had, what the problem was, but he needed medication, and it was costing them about $4,000 a month. That's brutal. That's out of pocket. So she moved up there, and she was telling me that dropped down to like less than $1,000 bucks. That's insane. Cora, your video convinced me to go for it. We found a town of our dreams and are heading there on a cross country month-long trip. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Closing our house this weekend. Yeah, I was talking to your real estate agent guy. Moving there now. Okay, I'm catching up with Cora now. Almost called you Dora the Explorer. All right. YPA, Wisconsin. I love the land. And thank you, New Country Guy, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. And I missed one too. No, I did get that one. Shaq, thank you for supporting the channel. Why Pennsylvania and Wisconsin? Well, I love the land there. It's amazing. They both have a relatively low cost of living. The people are decent, and they're just great states. Poconos. Mixed towns are cater to young medical and dental needs met too. Yeah, that's a downside. So I know a friend, or I have a friend. His name's Tom. He lives in Torrance, California. And whenever he's needed dental work, he's always just driven down to Mexico. And I always thought that doesn't sound healthy, because you just have these preconceived notions of how Mexico is, and you think the doctors. No, he said he's never had a problem. Just as clean as a dental office here, and gets just as good a work. And it's about a quarter of the price. Chicago suburbs. How are you? What's your least favorite hotel chain? I've never really thought about it. Sadly, I'm a little bit of a hotel snob at this point in my life, and I really only stay in the nicer ones. Because there's two things. One, if I stay in a nice one, I could film it and make it into a video. If I stay in a crappy one like a Motel 6, then what am I going to make a video of? So I get to write it off. I bought a home for $700,000. I said there was 4 bedrooms, but there was only one. How do you fall for that? Your videos help us make a decision to move there last year. Move where? Move where? What? I missed one. Oh, so what about Eastern Oregon becoming part of Western Oregon? It'll never happen. It'll never happen. It's this thought that all these people in Eastern Oregon have, and they say they want to leave because they're not represented in Oregon. Okay, so here's what happens: if you don't feel you're being represented in a state, you move. You don't move the border because it's next to impossible. It'll never happen because they got to do all kinds of things about land swapping and purchasing land. And most of the area that wants to go to Idaho is a drain on Oregon's economy already. So why would Idaho take on a drain? It's just weird. And they seem to think that it's going to happen. I promise you, it's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm missing a lot, guys. I'm sorry. We got a lot of people in here, and I'm missing a lot of comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. We're doing pretty good so far with it. My West Virginia video helped me make the decision. Oh, okay, move last. Sure, gotcha. West Virginia. So here's the deal about West Virginia. If you could have, if you've got your own job, I'd suggest moving there. Because it is the cheapest state to live in. The people are wonderful. Sure, if you get up in the hills there, it gets a little weird. I wouldn't advise going into any of those hollows, but yeah, it gets a little weird up there. But the rest of the state is wonderful. The people are decent. The land is beautiful. The land is cheap. The cost of living is low. You just got to bring a job because they're not going to have one for you. I feel kind of bad that attention West Virginia because of Joe Manchin. Yeah, there's a lot of problems going on with that guy politically. But you know what? One thing I will give him, and I don't want to get into politics on this stream. I hate that. I'm kind of over politics right now. But even though he's with a party, he's doing, in my opinion, what his people want. So even he's from a very red state and he's a Democrat, but so they have different things, and he doesn't want to cut the throat of them by doing a climate thing because that's a coal country. That's coal country. So I kind of understand his way, but it just sucks if you're one political party trying to get an agenda to go through, and you got this one guy being a thorn. But he's representing his people, so I get it. Did you hear about flooding in Kentucky? My family's town Hidman is underwater. Oh, yeah, I've heard they've got some pretty bad flooding. I heard there's a couple places. Surprise, why is inflation? There was a shootout in Hawaii. Oh, shout out. Sorry, I'm all shootout. I'm an idiot. Worst acid rain state. Do they still have acid rain? Okay. Please answer about moving to Lebanon, Oregon. Did I miss one? I'm sorry. Did I miss one about that? Raider Dad? Okay. Oh, here you go. What do you know about Lebanon, Oregon? It's on my list of places to consider in the future. Planning getting Taxifornia. Yeah, Taxifornia. That's a good name for it. So, and oddly enough, California does have some high taxes, but they're really, I don't even think they're in the top 20. No, maybe they're not in the top 10. They're like number 12 or 15, something like that. New Jersey's the absolute worst. But Raider Dad 559, and whoever told me to look for that, I appreciate that. I'm sorry I missed it. But Lebanon, Oregon is decent. It's not a bad place to live. What is his name? I'm trying to think real quick. What is his name? I can't think of his name. I'm getting on my Facebook really quick. Just okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay. So guy I went to school with, he's a police officer, high school friend. I'm not gonna say his name because he's a cop down there, but he's lived there for probably about 20 years and he loves it. So I mean, he's got a nice little ranch type area. He lives on the outskirts of the town, but he says it's a nice little place. And if you look at the stats here, let me pull up the stats on it. But on Oregon. So yeah, they're not that bad. Their crime rate is actually 23% lower than the national average. Their housing is not bad. The typical home there goes for, you can get Probably homes you don't want for under 200,000, but if you want to buy a home there, you're looking at about 325,000 is a good price to be thinking about starting with, but 500,000 to 325, you're going to find something nice and livable in that area. It's kind of expensive here in Oregon if you compare it to other places like Louisiana or Mississippi or the Dakotas. Our land's kind of expensive right now. And 5 pieces of 9, thank you for pointing that out that I kind of missed his thing. Like I said, I miss a lot on here. Hi, Briggs. Hi, Briggs, and greetings for family too. San Gabriel Valley, San Bernardino County, huh? Bell, San Bernardino. That's where Nick Johnson's from originally. Washington. What about that? It's a nice area. I was just in Camas the other day, but this is up the way. So, oh, you know what? Interesting fact about that place. So, where is it? I'm trying to think where it is. Friend of mine. Oh, okay. It's south of there. Maple Ridge Road, Ocean Beach Highway. Um, a friend of mine drove off into the Columbia River many years ago. Now there's a railing there, but he was sneezing and drove off the road into the Columbia River. This is probably 1995 or whatever. Nice Jeep he had and everything like that. But he sneezed, cranked the wheel, and I guess just lost control. Good fishing. Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear. I haven't been up there in decades. Hola, Joanna. Okay, what's this one? Algorithm is important. It was algorithm brought this channel to my attention. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Thank you. I guessed that one. I wonder why. So, Casper Parks, that algorithm comment, for some reason, it made me okay it. Like you said, something obscene, and I can't figure out what it was doing. Anyway, thanks, Cora. I think you're talking to my Gina, right? Did I miss something? Denzel, favorite song from the Bee Gees? Andy Gibb. um, I mean, in my head, I can't remember what it was. Ben Spurgeon, I'm retiring in April, and I'm planning my exodus to Fort Pierce, Florida. Not bad. Do you have any thoughts on Fort Pierce? Let's see what Fort Pierce looks like. Oh, Fort Pierce doesn't have the best stats, but oh yeah. So I'll give you this: Fort Pierce, and that's not terrible. Their overall cost of living is about 15% below the national average. Housing is 41%. The only downside is their crime is 9% above the national average, and their violent crimes 39%. That could be they have too many bar fights when their violent crime is that high. Usually, if you look at their property crime and total crime, you get an idea. Now, if you're living in a place like Detroit and they have 400% above the national average for violent crime, that's a different story. But housing isn't that great. Schools, if you're retiring, you don't care about that. Employment, if you're retiring, you might not care about that. The crime isn't very alarming, but the cost of living is pretty low, especially for Florida and being a coastal town. So, not a bad place to move to. When you're looking, you retiring, you're going to be on fixed income. Obviously, if you retire with plenty of money, you could pick wherever you want. But in reality, you want to find something affordable. You got to make those retirement dollars stretch as long as I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But so when someone says a place is dangerous, you got to look at the crime rate, and that's the best way to do it. Even though the locals say a place is dangerous, even though the press say it, you really break it down to what's the percentages, because every place has some crime. And Fort Pierce, even though it might have a little crime, it's not terrible. All right, let me catch back up here. I retire in 2 months and looking for figure out where to go. Well, Star Lord could be a lot of different places. You know what? Maybe I'm just gonna do maybe I'll just start talking to people about where they should retire. She does. She does. My Cora, my wife does make her cookie videos occasionally, but she's really so she doesn't work anymore at a job. She got to retire a couple of years ago, and at a very young age, and so that was her big plan to do it. But now we got a grandbaby and we got all our animals. She ends up taking care of them, but she doesn't end up taking any videos of taking care of them. But yeah, she does. She has all the cookie stuff she needs. She just doesn't make videos as much as she should. She really should. If you see her online, you should kind of encourage her. Hey, me, how are you? Also, Mariana, Florida. Best YouTube channel ever. Let's see this. Come to Tennessee, own and carry whatever gun you want. Mountains, Jack Daniels, blues. Oh my God, so affordable housing. So I get this jackaloon from Tennessee. I just did a video, worst rural towns in Tennessee, and some dude gets on Facebook and he basically threatened me gave me threats that a aging biker gang was going to come after me. He said it like this: biker gangs from there, and they're not happy about it, and I should stay out of Tennessee and watch my back. It's basically what he said. So he gave me a threat. I had to turn over to Facebook. So funny thing is, he acted like this is some biker gang that I should know about. And I was like, I've never heard of these dudes. What are you talking about? And I look, and it's like they're not like a real biker gang. They're like a club of guys that like their bikes. Maybe they were at one point, not so much anymore. I will let her know, Cora. Riggs, what are your thoughts on the city in Fulshire, Texas? I don't have any thoughts on it. Bisbee, Arizona, if you don't mind the heat, that could be a good choice. It's affordable. Cough is killing me. I haven't seen a cop in weeks. Trying clowns. What's the name of Happily Baked? Let me see if I can get a link to that and put it in here. I don't have her on speed dial. Let me find this. Can't even find it. Here, let's try this. Can't even find her channel. Sorry, guys. I know I'm missing a lot right now. Can't even find it. Is that what it's called? Huffy Bake Huffy Bike Club. Oh my God. I used to have a Huffy What was it? Huffy? No, that was a Schwinn Scrambler. Dill Pickle when I was like 9. It's Nick. Arizona Arizona is affordable. Is that a joke? No, Nick, it's not a joke. Arizona is affordable compared to most states. It has gone up in price in recent years, and if you're local, you're probably going, "Oh, yeah, that's very expensive." But if you're from California, if you're from New York, if you're from Washington, Oregon, or even Colorado, Arizona's pretty cheap. What's the story with your World According to Briggs intro video being all messed up? It's not messed up that I know of. What are you talking about? What's better, Portland or Seattle? I like Portland better. Wait. You need to hear my how do you, were you in the military with me? Am I missing something? How do you know about that? Did I bring that up before? Okay, so I'll tell you this story. Let me find my wife's thing here. So, interesting thing, when I was in the regular army, my first duty station, I was what they call a light fighter, which is a type of infantry, kind of like Army Rangers, just not as cool. Um, Basically, we relied on uh, field knowledge, tactics, things like that, and not really big weapons or anything like that. Um, so we had to go play Op 4, which is opposing force for the Arkansas National Guard one year. So they fly us all the way out there, and we had to play the enemy against these people. God help you if anyone ever attacks Arkansas. I'm sure they've gotten better. That's been years and years. But it was just ridiculous. I'll get into it a little bit here. So, first of all, we get the briefing from a tank commander guy that's got a mohawk and he weighs about 320 pounds and he's probably about 5'9". He was not in the best shape of his life, which I'm not in the best shape of my life either, but I'm not in the military right now. He was. You're supposed to stay fit. He was not. So he's telling us how cool they are and we're kind of the rebels of the battalion. That's why we all got these mohawks. I'm like, we all just like looked around when, at the time, the people I was with, they were professional soldiers. These people were not. Anyway, long story short, we actually got a couple briefings to take it easy on them because it was that bad. So thank you, Cora. So we're playing Op 4. Regular Army, does that mean something called yes, actually irregular Army is National Guard reserves that could be considered irregular Army. Um, so they told us to take it easy because we were doing things like stealing all the food out of their supply trucks. So they had no food and they had to get food brought back into them. And we were in the woods enjoying their food. We actually went down into their camp, sat around a fire with them and talked to them for like an hour. And they had no clue we weren't one of them. We had run up in the middle of the night. People were sleeping in the back of trucks in their sleeping bags because they didn't want to sleep on the ground. So it's like 4 feet up, and we pulled a couple guys out of the truck by their sleeping bag, and they just flopped on the ground. Then we ran into the woods. Basically, we tortured the Arkansas National Guard for about a week and a half, and then we were finally told to take it easy on them. Briggs, which state, I meant to say, stats suck right now, but are making a turnaround. Making a turnaround? Good question. I might get into that. Give me a second here. Is for service a new video about wrong town, city, state. Okay. What you got to Iraq or Afghanistan? Why am I reading so poorly? Did you go to Iraq and Afghanistan? I don't talk about that stuff. Crazy cool lady, thanks for hanging out with us. David, how are you? Been a long time since one of your live streams. Been a while, hasn't it? Haven't seen you in here in a while. Denzel totally digs Star Wars, but Disney completely. I don't think so. I think they're doing pretty good. Myself, I mean, it could be a lot worse. I mean, their newest thing for Star Wars is way better than that last three with Jar Jar Binks and all that garbage. What's my favorite state? Oregon, Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania? Yep. Briggs, if you had to live in California, any particular city, I'd probably, if I was going to live in a city, it'd be San Diego out of the major cities. If I was going to live someplace that wasn't a major city, probably Monterey, that area around there. I like that area. Did I haven't missed anything, have I? Any? Okay. Well, thank you, Momo. I had a guy the other day telling me I should quit trying to sound like a radio DJ. And I was like, this is my normal voice. I don't know what you're talking about. This is how I communicate with people. What about the Coachella Valley? I've never spent much time in the Coachella Valley. I mean, it's not my thing. Don't like the desert. I mean, been through there. Haven't really spent a bunch of times. Haven't spent a bunch of time. Flugen. Did I miss did I miss a few paid comments? Let me scroll up here. I did. Stefan. Oh, thoughts on Olympic Peninsula? I'm so sorry, guys. I hate it when I miss things like this. Thoughts on Olympic Peninsula, Washington? I love the Olympic Peninsula. It's really nice. It's nice area. I love the whole Puget Sound. That whole area is just beautiful. It's a little more expensive than I think it should be. Some of those small towns, but it's still definitely a nice place. If you could swing it financially, um, you should move there for a while. Everyone should. It's my opinion. I think that's the only one I missed. I'm scrolling way up here. Boom, 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 boom. YPA or Wisconsin? Just curious. I think I already did that one. That's the last one I think I missed. Oh, there we go. Do you prefer Monterey, California, or Carmel by the Sea? I was at Fort Ord, so I like that seaside area. Monterey, Carmel by the Sea's nice. It's just terribly expensive. Carmel Valley's pretty decent. I was there last October. I liked it. So I'm hesitant to ask, but thoughts on Houston, Texas? Houston, Texas is nice. It's got a little more crime compared to the other major cities in. Thank you for supporting the channel, guys, by the way. Compared to the other major cities in Texas, it's probably low man on the totem pole. It's not greatest, but still, Houston has a lot to offer, and it is definitely a place you want to visit at least once. There's certain neighborhoods, just like any major city, you definitely want to stay out of, but overall, it's not that terrible. When you compare it to places like Southside Chicago or Detroit or St. Louis, it's a wonderful place to live. Best videos outside third ring suburbs. Be good. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something, guys. So a long time ago, I started right before this channel took off. I decided I was going to start a kids channel with animation and stuff like that. I put up 2 videos, and I was getting ready to do like the third one, and this channel took off out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, the reason I say that, I just saw it. I'm scrolling through channels real quick. All right, let's get back to this. Can't find it. Okay. Best cities for food. So that's really much a preference, but if you broke it down to what type of food, it's a little more doable. Like pizza. You're gonna find New York, Detroit actually has some good pizza, but in my opinion, king of pizza is Chicago, always. Then you get down to Mexican food. Which place has the best Mexican food? To me, Laredo, Texas. They've got a handful of Mexican food places that are just outstanding. What's my least favorite state? I'm not a big fan of Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and there's a major reason for that. They're the most, I wouldn't say they kind of are, one of them is the most corrupt state we have, but most of the time they've got so many problems that could have been fixed so long ago, they just never have. I mean, decades and decades of poverty have just destroyed those states when if they made some political moves, they wouldn't be nearly as bad as they are. So it's not the people, it's the politicians I can't stand that make me kind of dislike a state. See this one. You ever go to Point Defiance in Washington? It's beautiful. I have not. That's one of the places I'm going to be going this summer, probably late August. Here we go. Here's one. Oh, what? Thank you for supporting the channel, guys. I think I already did it. What best cities for a variety of different foods? Oh, that's a good question. So, Miami's one of them. You're going to find everything from Cuban food to good different Asian foods. Um, yeah, Miami's for a variety of food, in my opinion, Los Angeles, Miami, San Francisco, probably, and New York, obviously. Brownsville has Mexican barbecue. Yeah, that's not bad. Guess you'll have to do a series. Yeah, I think I will, Cora. Let's see. Briggs, do you watch similar channels like yours, such as Scary Harry? Usually make different. No, never even heard of Scary Harry. See what they look like. Scary Harry, huh? I think that's how you pronounce it. Scary Harry. Scary Harry. 177,000 videos, 2 weeks, 7 days, 6 days, 3 weeks. That's first thing I look is how often do they upload. My opinion, I think this guy great pictures for his thumbnails. I think he needs to probably. I don't know. It's just me. The picture's nice, but I want to see some words on my thumbnails. Just my opinion. And all he's really doing, I don't know. Maybe I'll give that a shot someday. Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing half the time anyway. New country guy, but thank you everyone for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Here's another one. Best food. Oh, I got that one already. All right, let me see what I'm missing here. Scary Harry, lots of retirement videos. Does he? Okay. Oh my God. I ate pulled pork, mac and cheese. So, Denzel, I had, when I went to Honesdale last time, I had Philly mac and cheese. Oh my God, it was so good. That's at the Hotel Wayne. If you ever get a chance, do that. Is it my imagination? Are you home price? I've heard home prices, David, are dropping a bit in the Portland area. I haven't really been paying attention too much, but I could say I've noticed they haven't gone up. And I have seen a lot of homes staying on the market a little bit longer, so that just means they will eventually be dropped in price a little bit. Tire in Tampa. Tampa is one of my favorite places in Florida to live, the Tampa Bay area. They got some places you should probably avoid, just like any place, but Tampa in general is pretty good. Thank you very much. I will, Jonathan. I appreciate it. What's my favorite Utah city? I really don't have any. Park City's nice. Why do you stop typing a lot? Well, so that started with, I'll tell you, I've kind of told this story before, but the stop typing thing came from whenever I'd say something, there'd just be like these people would just have the same comment all the time. And normally it was just some regurgitated line they got from some news commentator. So if said something about Portland, it would be something like liberal cesspool. And it would be liberal cesspool. Comment, comment, liberal cesspool, comment, comment, liberal cesspool. And it was like a phrase of the week. So I just got to the point where I know you're going to call it a liberal cesspool. Stop typing. Would you recommend Seattle or Northern Virginia and why? Ooh, okay. So myself, I'd probably choose Seattle because I like the Pacific Ocean a little bit more than the Atlantic Ocean. But Northern Virginia, you know, I mean, just there's so much history in that area. But thank you for supporting the channel, first of all. And I just think Northern Virginia probably is a better place to live. Probably a little more expensive, but Seattle's crazy expensive. So yeah, I'd probably choose Northern Virginia, but it'd be really hard because I like my Pacific Ocean. So that's what it was, and it wasn't just liberal cesspool. It was people going the other direction too, and just when Trump was in office, there was the same over and over Trump slam comments. Just like right now, if you look, it's always something about Joe Biden, and that's where it came from. If you're going to have a comment, that's fine. If you're going to have a point of view, that's fine. But just don't copy and paste the same generic catchphrase or Republican Democrat talking point you've been hearing all week. It's just crazy. Have some originality is what it is. Yeah, a lot of people are moving out of Seattle because it's so expensive. Do I think Arkansas, the northwest corner of Arkansas, is making a really nice turnaround? As far as the rest of the state, it's still lagging far behind. Eugene or Salem? I like Eugene a little bit better. College town. Salem's a little crazy right now with the homeless. Eugene is too, but best cities for vegans. Ooh, I don't know. I did a video not too long ago, and it was like one of them was the worst place. It was like a major city, and they only had like 2 vegan restaurants. It's someplace in Texas, I forget which. Boom! Caught you yesterday swapping the Mississippi flag with Michigan. Did you? I hate it when people catch that too early. Or what's my favorite is when I add something like that into a video and nobody catches it for like weeks at a time, and then I'll get an email. Exactly. Well, it's a I'm countering their catchphrase with my own catchphrase. Briggs, which state out of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, New Mexico, West Virginia making the best turnaround? Good question. Alabama is not as bad. Alabama should almost be taken out of that because Louisiana, New Mexico, and West Virginia are in bad shape and have been for a long time. I think West Virginia has the potential because they're kind of leaning into getting remote workers in that state. I guess they finally realized the coal industry is not coming back. So they're kind of putting a focus on that, and hopefully that'll help them turn around. Right now, it is dirt cheap to live there, so it only makes sense to move to West Virginia. So for a while, if that catches on, they'll be doing really well. How long it's going to stay like that, I don't know. But I think of all those, West Virginia's got the best chance to turn around, probably because it's in the worst shape, I would say, or at least was. I like Duluth. It's been a few years since I've been to Duluth, but it was nice. Yeah, that's the truth. Best YouTube channel ever. Tennessee is divided in 4 places: West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee, and Memphis. Memphis is an island of despair in the middle of a decent state. Alabama has been in bad shape for a very long time, but it's not as bad as the other ones. You got Huntsville and a few other places that are just phenomenal cities. Matter of fact, some guy tried to tell me they have one of the best cities in the country. It was weird. I on my video about top 10 worst states to move to in 2022, I had Alabama on there that goes, "Oh, no credibility." That's the other one. You lost all credibility. That's a stop typing comment. You lost all credibility. Alabama's got one of the most moved to states or moved to cities. No, Alabama doesn't. no matter what. In case you're watching, dude from earlier. Yeah, Alabama does take it easy on the taxes, at least most taxes. Okay, let's see here. What don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Ooh. Okay. Hey Brig. Oh, let's get back to this so I can put up there. Hey Briggs. Hey Briggs, I am stuck in Minnesota or North Dakota, originally from Air Force Base. Right, yeah. How affordable's well, Kevin, it depends on what part. Obviously, if you get around any of the Finger Lakes area, it's going to get a little expensive. But if you go to Syracuse, place like that, it's affordable and it's not terribly bad. Watertown, I'd avoid that place. You know, it's right near Fort Drum, which is never a good thing. But yeah, just there's a lot of good places in upstate New York. Should I hit the like? It only works the once, but yeah. Been watching your videos for 3 years now. I moved to Maine because of your advice for the most part. I left Alabama. Good move, William. I wish I'd do that one too. I would choose Asheville, North Carolina myself. Schenectady is not great, Theo. You're right. Did I find my wife's channel? Oh, no, I didn't. I was looking and I don't know why I can't seem to find it right now. I'm subscribed to like 300 different channels and she had one that she started and I found that one easily. And then she kind of quit doing anything with that one and decided to do this cookie thing. I'm gonna find it right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Don't anyone donate anything right now because I'm gonna miss it. Our friend Bliss, who she's got a little channel that shows like rivers and stuff like that when you're trying to relax and sleep and stuff. She's actually a nurse in San Francisco. She had a little cancer scare there probably 6 months ago, and she said everything looks really good right now. I was just talking to her the other day. Interesting girl. She's actually a nurse, has her master's degree now in nursing, and her mom was one of the I probably no, her mom's dead, so I think I can talk bad about her. Her mom told her when she was young, you don't need to go to school. You just have to focus on how you look so you can get a good husband. That was her mom's advice when she was like a junior in high school. Now she got her master's and she's married to a cop in the Bay Area. When I met her though, she was not on that road. I'll try again in a minute. I can't seem to find it. Is there a search thing for that in my subscription? Shows how much I've been watching her because it usually lists by who you've been watching recently, and I haven't watched her channel in a while. Cora's up towards the top. I watch Cora's all the time. Okay, I can't find it. I'm giving up. Let's go back to what we were doing. My cousin's ex-wife kind of got off those for a while. A lot of people complaining about that. I know what I'll do. What happened? My cousin's ex-wife. Da, 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 da. Hey, Briggs. I'm moving to Morocco. From Morocco to you say, what state do you recommend for new immigrants? So, yeah, that's up to you. My opinion, I would stay out of New York. It's really not worth it. That's where everyone always seems to think they need to go. It's a little too expensive, and you might not know this, but most of the coastal states are going to be a little more expensive. Um, Michigan, not Detroit, or Flint, probably is not a bad plan for you. Um, Wisconsin too is a good choice. I'd pick one of those, Wisconsin or Michigan, maybe even Minnesota. There's a lot of different African communities. Even though Morocco's not like South African or anything like that, or Ethiopia, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I would probably choose Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, something like that. Hey, there's my Irish friends. How are you guys? Unstable TV. They reacted to one of my videos recently. What's incredible about them is it's an Irish channel. I know there's some Irish channels out there where us here in the United States we can't understand what they're saying. Theirs is not that bad. Myself, I have a grandmother who was born in Scotland, lived in Ireland for a while, and then moved to Manchester when she was in her 20s. The woman had the thickest accent I've ever heard or anyone's ever heard. We used to have to translate English for her, but theirs is not that bad. I like it. And I'm not bragging on you guys. Don't take it wrong on Stable TV. Are you an Apple guy or PC guy? I am an Apple guy when it comes to my phone and tablets, but a PC when it comes to my computer. Sterling Heights, great spot. Briggs, not Briggs. Detroit and Dearborn. Yeah, Dearborn's probably your best option. Good Irish bars in Santa Cruz. Thanks. Which state is getting worse than all 50 of them? In my opinion, I think the one that's getting worse is Texas. Texas is still way better than most states. I mean, probably better than 90% of them. But I think they've had such an influx in people and with their power grid issues and things like that, I think they're sliding down a little bit. Now they're still way better than most states, but that's the one I think that's decreasing in shine. It's just not shiny as it used to be. Definitely getting worse. California is always getting worse. Shall move to Pahrump, Nevada. There you go. Born and raised in New York, moved to Florida with my family, and we're looking to move somewhere else. Let's say it can be recommended. Love the videos, by the way. Thank you, Zane. Out west. So if you're going to move out west, California is probably not the best bet. If I was going to move out west, I would choose between um, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and parts of New Mexico. Thanks, Unstable TV. I appreciate that. Missed a lot of them. Hey, Brig. What? I missed that. New Mexico. There you go. Hey, Briggs. I was thinking about, Southwest side near Knoxville. Your thoughts? So Southwestern Ohio is very inexpensive place to live. Tennessee, just cross the border, it's going to be a little more expensive. So if you want to live near Knoxville, Southwest Ohio might not be a bad idea. Even though it's like an entire state or two away. But um, I would move into West Virginia before I'd move into. If you want to be near Knoxville and live on the cheap, I would definitely move into West Virginia before I'd move into Southern Ohio. Albuquerque is not safe. Left there last year to get away from the crime. Yep. So they The mayor's office called me a few years ago, one of the aides there or something, because I did a negative video about Albuquerque. The mayor's office called me and asked me when I was going to do the positive side in it. My response was, "Fix your shit and we'll talk later." They never called back. Oh no, Texas will not be as bad as Mississippi, at least not in our lifetime, unless something major weird happens there. Yeah, so- Southwest Ohio. That's what I was saying. It's like, okay, you're gonna move to Southwest Ohio to be near Knoxville. Wouldn't you rather move to West Virginia to be closer to Knoxville or Virginia? Thanks, Steven. Yeah, it wasn't the actual mayor, it was someone in the office. Hey, Albert Sancho, how are you? Other than Honesdale, what's your favorite town, small town in America? I want to get a farm myself, and Honesdale doesn't have a lot to offer. Oh, that's too bad. Usually they do. Um, Other places I would move if I was small towns. Whew, sorry. Hmm. Um, Oregon's going to have some really great places outside of Tillamook and outside of Brookings that are probably one of the best places to buy farmland on the West Coast, in my opinion. If you don't want to do Pennsylvania, Ohio's got plenty of land for you. We're just talking about Ohio. Ohio's got plenty of farmland for you, as does Indiana and Illinois. Thoughts on Idaho? Try not to think about it. No, well, Idaho's not that bad. Ooh, that's not good. New Hampshire is a beautiful state. What's my favorite place outside the states? So? I mean, I like Scandinavia. Haven't spent enough time there to really dislike it. But most of my experience in life outside of the United States has been Central South America. I've been to just about every country down there. Well, I haven't been to Chile, Ecuador, but I've been to Colombia, Venezuela, obviously Panama. God, I've been to a lot. I think I've been to all of them in Central America. What am I missing? Well, Nicaragua, but that wasn't for sightseeing. Costa Rica, been there. El Salvador, briefly. Guatemala, been to a couple times. Honduras, been to several times. Yeah, outside there, one I'll put it to you this way. One I want to spend more time in: Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Finland, probably. Or I go look up relatives' house in Ireland. Favorite country outside the USA, kind of Panama. I would say Panama. I love Panama, even though it gets a little too warm for me. Mhm. See if I I think what I have to do is get rid of. I guess I subscribe to like 400 channels. I have to get rid of some of them that haven't uploaded in like 3 years. When I first started my channel, there's this video I have on here or this channel that I was the first one I became friends with on Facebook. We talked every once in a while, and we're talking about how we're gonna do this and this with YouTube, and I think he uploaded like 4 videos and never did again. I don't even know where it is. Okay. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to wind this down because I'm getting a little punchy and a little drained right now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's been fun. Saturday night. We'll do it again next Saturday night or during the week sometime. I'd like to do this a little more regular now that I'll be home till October. So yeah, let's do this again next Saturday. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.